All right, let's do this. UFC 260. Stipe the Goat Miocic against Francis the Predator Ngannou. This is a long overdue uh, post-fight review, and I mean the fight itself was interesting. Short but sweet, and it did enable us to see the level of improvement that Francis Ngannou had over those 3 years. Second round knockout, very nice fight. So let's go straight to the point. What happened during this fight? Uh, First of all, we all knew that the fight. I mean, the fight, whether Ngannou was going to win or lose, was going to depend entirely on himself, and was going to depend entirely on the level of improvement that Ngannou would have been able to achieve after his first fight total breakdown and total beatdown at the end of Stipe Miocic. So yeah, that's why he rested, because we knew that if all the adjustment was there, all the improvement was there, uh, it would have been very hard for Stipe to be able to beat Francis Ngannou, considering that in the first fight, after the first round, Francis Ngannou was totally gassed out and at the mercy of Stipe Miocic, and that a very very motivated, a very well trained, a very well coached, and Stipe Miocic basically at the top of his game at that time wasn't able to submit or TKO Ngannou, basically get him out of the octagon during 4 rounds. And we had to go to a decision. Yeah, unanimous decision in a sense. Yeah, he won, he beat him down and all that. But the fact still remained that the Stipe Miocic, on top of his game, wasn't able to get out a diminished Ngannou that didn't have any fight plan, any game plan, that didn't have any cardio, that was gassed out after the first round. So yeah, we knew coming into this fight that basically it was going to depend on the level of improvement of Francis Ngannou. And as we have been able to see, the improvements were enough basically to grant and to secure the victory for Francis Ngannou. Basically, he did show a lot more patience. He was a lot more controlled. His attacks were a lot more diversified in terms of strike. I mean, you could have seen calf kicks, head kicks, which was amazing. I was actually very surprised that he was able to kick that high. And this is not good news for any heavyweight out there, right? So head kicks. We have been able to see him also vary his strike, like he to the body, to the head. Use his jabs a lot more. But what was really determining, and I knew that he was able to do that. He was going to be able to do it, and it was basically his cage control, and controlling the pace of the fight, and obviously, maybe I forgot to say something here. The distance itself. I mean, he had a better control of the distance, obviously, and we could have seen during this fight that. Regarding the ground game, he was able to counter the takedowns and actually go offensive, take the back, and start what seems to be some little flurries of ground and pound. So yeah, so it was a 360 basically type of improvement that secured Ngannou's heavyweight champion belt, right? So definitely great performance by Francis Ngannou. Great improvement on his side. And this is really not good news for any heavyweight out there, because this guy seems to be. I mean, he already athletically speaking, he's a phenom. He's a phenom, quite frankly. And when we look at this and we see him train, and we can kind of have a glimpse of what this guy, if he frees himself, could be able to do. I mean, this is a very dangerous man. And to be honest, during the fight with Stipe Miocic, you could see that yes, he did improve. Yes, he did show a more calm, more patience, right? He was more prepared mentally as well to be able to understand that hey, maybe your shot worked on certain fighters, but some other fighters are going to be able to take your shots, are going to be able to to be able are not going to get down at the first shot. So on that on that aspect, I think that this is one of the aspect where it did really improve a lot. But I'm gonna tell you to notice the following. At the end of the fight, I mean, he was really happy, and you could have seen not that at the end of the fight and during the second round, at one point, the guy was starting to ask himself questions. I'm pretty sure that he was starting to doubt. I'm pretty sure that if Stipe would have lasted another round, then it might have been a different story. The only thing that gives me a hope in there is just that in thinking that even if Stipe would have lasted like the third round, that maybe Ngannou could have won even to a decision is because he was controlling the pace of the fight so well. And when Stipe actually tried to rush in in the second round, that's where he got caught. The one that lost his patience was actually Stipe because Stipe had to win some points. He had to win some rounds. He couldn't let Ngannou win the second round, so he had to take some chances and get into that danger zone, and that's what causes his loss. And if he hadn't done that, also, I mean, Ngannou had the calf kicks. He had everything in place, and I'm pretty sure that those calf kicks are not pleasant. Real, they're not really fun, right? And they would, I'm pretty sure, taken a toll on Stipe as well. So he had to do something. He had to win the second round so that he can get somehow back in the fight, right? But his option in terms of openings, in terms of tools that he would be able to use to submit or to TKO to win this fight were diminishing based on the progression and the type of pace and cage control that Francis Ngannou was displaying. I mean, it was just, I'm not going to say it was a master performance, but in the case of Francis Ngannou at the stage where he's at, I mean, that was a masterful performance, definitely. So, a rematch, Stipe Miocic against Francis Ngannou. I don't think that Stipe Miocic would be able to to defeat Francis Ngannou in a rubber match. Definitely not. I think that Francis Ngannou is going to be even more prepared. He knows that patience is there. He's going to be even more mentally prepared as well, because on the durability of Stipe Miocic, and is not going to doubt at all, knowing that at the end of the day he's going to connect and he's going to get him right. So this fight, I think, is a turning point in the career of Francis Ngannou, and definitely he's not a very good news for the opponents that he's going to face next. I mean, like I was saying, uh, I believe that with this guy, we've just scratched the surface, and even what is shown in in the latest fight, when you see him train, I mean, you know all the potential that he has. I mean, I've looked at his old fights and all that stuff, and the guy was actually already grappling and wrestling back in his previous fight. I mean, he had not even one, not only one submission. I mean, he had, I don't know, he had some submission on his record, this guy. So you don't have any submission without at least at one point going to the ground. So I just I, I would just love to wait when he will have enough confidence to throw his to throw elbows, spinning elbows, to to actually initiate the takedown, take the opponent to the ground and pound him in the UFC. This is going to be totally crazy. This guy could be there for a long time if he get his head straight and that his coaches keep him keep him alert. Uh, he he could be the greatest heavyweight of all time and actually surpass Stipe. That's really what I believe. I don't think that right now. Well, right now there could be some people that can have, let's say that can that can cause him a little bit of trouble because of their movement and all that stuff. Maybe Cyril Gane is really actually one of the guys that I would see that would have that type of agility, that type of bounce, that type of you know I don't know. I mean the guy is very light on his feet for his size. He seems to have a good fighting IQ. So yeah, Cyril Gane, I think, would be one of the guy that might be able to cause some trouble to Ngannou at the present time, at the current time, right? And I'm going to explain why I'm saying at the current time. So, oh, by the way, do you like my matrix? Yes, I love the matrix. So, okay, so yeah, so Cyril Gane is one of the guys that could, I believe, cause him some trouble. I don't think that Derek Lewis could cause him some trouble. And I don't see any other guy in the division, in the heavyweight division, that can cause him trouble. So definitely great victory, great improvement uh, in all the aspect that he needed to improve. He controlled the cage, he controlled the pace to save his cardio and be able to go the distance. He controlled the distance as well, so that it wasn't easy for Stipe to come in, and it wasn't easy for Stipe to fight outside. So Stipe couldn't really pressure because there was always that threat of the big bomb knock him out, right? A lot more jab to set up his power punches. A lot more diversity in the kicks. We could have seen calf kicks again, head kicks. We've seen attempt to punch the body, head. So different colors that he showed to Stipe. Also, a better strategy. The camp, his coach's camp that was there. Kamaru was a tremendous job. Nitzik, Yui, amazing job by these guys who were there to temper it, to calm him down, and to give him some advice during the fight. They did an amazing job. So yeah, that was the victory of an entire team. That was the victory of Francis and Ngannou that has been able, first of all, to follow the game plan and also to keep calm and stay in control, to be able to, at the end of the day, get that knockout and bring that UFC belt home. Now, what does that mean? Well, you can see it on the title there. It means that now we do have, in Africa, we do have three UFC champions, and those three UFC champions. We have three UFC champions. Francis Ngannou, we have Kamaru Usman, and we have Israel Adesanya. And those guys are flashy, and they own divisions that are very active and competitive. These are not like your divisions where there's no activity, where there's no challenges, where there's no visibility. They all are in divisions that are very, very competitive and where there's very high visibility. And obviously, what is even more funny is that we used to say that the heavyweight title owner is the baddest man on the planet. So there you go. Imagine that. The baddest man on the planet is Francis Ngannou's a guy from Africa. Oh my God, this is crazy now. Just love it. All right. So now what's next? What's next? Well, what's next? Well, just around the corner, who do we see? Oh, Mr. Bone Jones. Yeah, Mr. John Bones Jones. So Mr. Bon Jones wants to play, right? He wants to play. He wants to fight Francis Ngannou. Obviously, he wants to get paid to be able to fight and to take the risk to have his head snatched out of his neck and sent into orbit. So he needs to get paid for that, and I do understand him, and I do agree that I mean, whether it's him or Francis Ngannou, these guys both needs to get paid because definitely this is a fight. This is a fight of the century. I mean, both of these guys are about the same age. Both of these guys have about the same reach. Both of these guys are going to have about the same weight. From what I understand from John Jones, he's going to try to wait to to be bigger than Ngannou when he's going to come in if the fight is made. So meaning around 260. Although I believe that Ngannou, he's not going to go. He's not going. If there's a fight against John Jones, he's not going to go there at 260. He's going to go there around 250. I'm pretty sure that Ngannou is going to try to lower his weight a little bit. 250, I would say 250, 255, something like that, to be a bit lighter, to have a little bit more bounce, a little bit more speed. I'm pretty sure that's what he wants to do, right? So Jones on his side. So if that fight comes in, it's going to be an amazing fight. One of the, I mean, the pay-per-view, in my opinion, are going to be off the roof. It's going to be the the gates, the highest gates that the UFC has never seen. I mean, I'm interested to see that fight. I'm already salivating already. Just thinking about it, right? Like I was already salivating just thinking about the Stipe and Miocic fight. So yeah, I hope that they're going to find an agreement. And that man that we're going to be we're going to be served what we deserve, and that's the fight against John Jones. And now let's say we have that fight. Uh, what's going to happen? Uh, who will win this fight? Uh, and from what I understand, I heard that a lot of people are talking about, yeah, John Jones is too smart. He's got so many tools. The only thing, and that's the mistake that we're still making. So the only tool that Ngannou has, he's got that equalizer, and if you throw that equalizer, he can knock you out, and whether you throw it in the first round or in the fifth round. Yeah, but I don't think so. I mean, people have watched the fight against Miocic. We know now that he does not only have that equalizer, that atomic bomb in his fist. Right, we know that. We know now that he seems to be able now to understand wrestling. He seems to be able now to understand that he has to diversify and vary his strikes. He seems to be able to be able now to attack low and high, and especially with his kicks. Right, so he seems to be able to wrestle. He seems to be able to have to follow a game plan, and he seems to be able to control himself. Right, and his fight IQ is little by little increasing, right? So, so we have to understand that Jones is not going to fight the same beast that he think he's fighting, and what is even more amazing, and that's what we did realize in the first fight, in the second fight against Miocic, is that he's got a pretty big curve of improvement available to him. When we talk about a guy like John Jones, right now, basically, he's not improving that much. I mean, he's not improving that much. I mean, his curve of improvement is a little bit like Miocic when he was going to fight Ngannou for the second fight. I mean, what can he really improve in something that he's been doing for life, right? And that he's already an expert in, right? I mean, John Jones been wrestling almost all his life. He's been doing that sport a lot longer than Ngannou has been doing it. So for him to be able to find like other things to improve or to be able to improve a lot, it's going to be a little more difficult. But when you go in with Ngannou in the I mean, he's got an improvement curve that is pretty high. So the next time that you face him, is really not the same guy that you're going to that you have faced that you've seen in the octagon with Miocic. Is going to be a totally different guy. I mean, you have to understand that this guy now understand that You know, if you follow your strategy, no matter how hard the guy, I mean, how durable is the guy on the other side, if you have a good game plan, right, he's going to go down at one point. If it's not in the first round, it's going to be in the second round. If it's not in the second round, then it's going to be in the third round. If it's not in the third round, in the fourth, and so on. So he understands that now. And his mentality, his frame of mind now, does not allow him to get discouraged. It's as simple as that, right? He knows that now on the ground he's pretty swift, right? Now, so on the John Jones side, what he's doing is that first of all, I don't think that he can improve that much. But second of all, he's adding some additional weight, and I did already heard people say that, hey man, like the guy is adding all that weight on his body, going from using, getting his body used to fight at 205, and now he wants to get his body used to fight at 250 or 260, even at 230, right? And he thinks that it's going to be easy for him to keep the same cardio, the same speed, nah, and especially in a stressful situation. Because when he's going to face Ngannou, believe you me, I don't think that he's going to be so that calm and that safe. That he's going to feel that safe and that confident that he's going to win that fight. Not the way that he's telling us that he is right now. That's a lie. That's an obvious lie, right? So what is going to be who's going to win in this fight, and what are the keys to victory? Let's say for these two fighters. In my opinion, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I do believe that for John Jones to win, first of all, that's the first and foremost thing he has to do. He has to sign that contract real fast to be able to face Ngannou as soon as possible. I do believe that the longer he waits, right, for this fight, the longer he waits for this fight, 1 year, 1 year and a half, the worse it's going to be for him because he's allowing Ngannou to get better. And Ngannou is getting better, right? The shorter he waits, the less Ngannou has time to improve, right? And I do believe that that's the only way that that he can actually beat him, because if he allows Ngannou to get more confidence on his ground game, on his strategy, on his kicks strategy, on his punching strategy, on his fight control and cage control strategy, he's in big trouble. He's in big trouble. So the keys to victory for John Jones really, really is to be able to have that fight as early as possible. That's the only chance. I'm sorry, but that's the only chance I have him being able maybe to win. And the way that he's going to do it is going to do it as usual. He's going to be consistently trying to move forward, putting some pressure on Ngannou. I believe that his best position would be on clinching and making Ngannou work, right? Trying to take him down and make him work. Even if he doesn't take him down, just the fact that he makes him work and that he's in a zone where when he's very close, first of all, it's very hard. It's going to be hard for Ngannou to strike him, right? More than if he was at a certain distance. And then in that case, he's going to be able to control Ngannou and to make him work, and also getting out of the clinch. He has a chance before getting back at a safe distance to throw some elbows at Ngannou, some slicing elbows like he knows how to do, right? And I think that basically this is what might help him, because at a distance it's going to be hard for him. Uh, when he lock horn, maybe that's something that Jones likes to do, and because that way also he's very skilled at throwing elbows from that position as well. So yeah, the clinches is what Jones is looking for, putting some forward pressure on Ngannou. Most definitely, that's one of the things that John Jones likes to do and does very effectively. Did it he has almost all opponents. He did it against Reyes. He did it against was it Gustafsson? So I guess all his opponents. Now, What we have to realize is that John Jones, when he was fighting, was usually fighting smaller opponents that he was fighting almost during all his career. It would be interesting to see the percentage of opponents that were smaller than him and the percentage that were bigger than him, and actually try to see uh, the outcome and how did the fight play out. If it was a more difficult fight or if it was easier fight. Because what we have seen against a guy like Reyes, like Gustafsson, is that John Jones really did have a hard time, and John Jones also really get hits. So is he going to be able to avoid getting hit for 5 rounds? But at the end of the day, it's not avoiding to get hit for 5 rounds. It's just avoiding to get hit consecutively during 5 rounds. So yeah, he could be able to do it. John Jones. I think that he has the skills to be able to do it, but I do think that he needs to get that fight as fast as possible so that he reduces the capacity of Ngannou to improve his game, right? Yeah, basically that that's the keys to victory for John Jones. Now for Francis Ngannou, I mean, what can I say? I mean, the guy, I do believe, like we were saying, he's just scratching the surface, and every fight he's going to get a lot more confident in his skills. He said it himself. He rediscovered the sport. Not only after his fight, after his defeat against Stipe, and after that against Derek Lewis, but when he was practicing for his fight against Stipe Miocic. Seems like he's a guy that is renewed now, loves grappling, loves everything about MMA, and understand now what MMA stands for. Mixed martial art, my friend. So yeah, so he's a dangerous dude. He's got serious power in his hands, and now he's starting to add IQ, and now he's starting to vary his strikes. Now he's starting to add kicks, calf kicks, head kicks. So, guy, quite frankly, the only question now on Ngannou's side is just the cardio, right? Let's be honest, it's just the cardio. That's the only thing now that mm, makes us think that yes, if Jones can take him to those championship rounds or to those later round after the third, he's going to be able to ragdoll him and beat him like Steve Miocic did, and that's basically maybe Jones' plan, but I think that Jones' plan is even wickeder than that. He just wants to knock the hell out of Francis Ngannou. That's not going to happen. Let me tell you this right now. I mean, listen to this. I mean, you got a guy like we were saying that first of all he has improved in all aspect of the fighting game, but the guy had a rock. He's got an iron chin. I was gonna say a rock chin. He's got an iron chin. I mean, this is the total package. I mean, you sometimes yeah, I've seen champions in boxing in MMA that man. Uh, they are good striker, offensive striker. They have good defense, but their chin is it's a glass chin, right? But when you got like Ngannou, I mean, he can take punches and still go forward. He eats them like Tic Tacs. So, uh, what do you want to do? He's durable, a lot more durable than a Stipe Miocic, a lot more durable, and he's proven it for 4 rounds in the first fight. A lot more durable than I believe all of these heavyweight that are there, right? So now the keys to victory uh, for Ngannou, and that's amazing because we say that Stipe has sorry Jones has a lot of tools and all that he can do, but actually to be honest with you, Jones has a lot of tools, but will he be able to use them? And for him to be able to use them is really going to depend on Francis and on what Francis is going to give him. Because again, like I was saying for the first fight, the guy who has the shot that can turn your lights out in one shot is Ngannou. So to be honest with you, Jones has no choice but to respect that. He has no choice but to respect that until he tests the first shot that he think was a power shot, and that he see, okay, I can take it, or nah, I'd rather stay at a safe distance and nothing. So before that, I mean, the guy who has the strength to break you and to scare you is Francis Ngannou. So on his side, I do believe that if he wants to win, the first and foremost thing that he has to do is that he has to control the cage. He has to control the pace of the fight, and he has to control the cage. He should not allow, and unless he wants to trap him, he should not allow Jones to pressure him back. I don't think that he should allow Jones to clinch. If there's a clinch, he should get out of the clinch as fast as possible and try to avoid the slicing elbows. Should be careful when Jones wants to lock horn and just get him at a distance, right? Keep him at the distance. Don't move. If Jones wants to strike, they just, you know what? They just strike right there, right? They just throw right there. He shouldn't allow Jones to clinch him, and especially not for a long period of time. He's got the choice also to attack the legs of Jones. He's got the choice as well to fight from a distance, and that's what he needs to do. I think that his fight has to be done at a distance. That's why it's going to be more effective, and allow Jones and you know, do like exactly the same strategy that he did against Stipe Miocic. He has to be in control of the octagon. And when he's in control of the octagon, first of all, he's definitely, I mean, he's definitely going to throw a Stipe, the Stipe, sorry, Jones off of his usual game, because that's the way Jones fight. He doesn't fight moving backward; he fights moving forward. So if Ngannou can keep Jones at a distance, right, from his elbows, right, and his clinch and his wrestling, then we're good. And I do believe that he's going to be able to do it, like he did it with Stipe, because he has that power hand that make people think twice before shooting or before coming in. And with the kicks that he's going to throw, I mean, Jones better time his takedown pretty fast, pretty good, right? So that's my take on that. I don't think so. That's my take on that. I don't think that that Jones is going to be able to beat Francis Ngannou. Really not. And and if he does, the only chance that he has to do it would be to by signing that contract really fast. And I think that he should think about asking too much money. I think that if he beat Ngannou, right, the money is going to come. He's going to come. He's going to come fast. So, to be honest with you guys, here's the thing. Jones is going to ask a lot of money. If he asks a lot of money, it's because he's not confident in winning that fight. If he can settle for around 10 to 12 or 13 million, then he's aware that yeah, I gotta get that fight coming really fast, and you can believe that then at that time he does believe that he's going to be able to beat Ngannou, because after that he can really cash in on that victory. To be honest with you, he can cash in on a lot of millions after that victory if he does. But if he's asking for, you know, the sky for that fight, it means that yeah, he just want to cash in a big payday. If he wins, that's good, but he's not that confident in winning that fight. I'm sure. I'm sure about that. So let's just see how it's going to end up. If they're going to sign, for how much they signed, and or if they're not going to sign, which wouldn't surprise me as well, because I mean, Ngannou is a terrifying beast, right? Who, like I was saying, he keeps improving and improving, and it is scary. I mean, just to think about a strategy of him kicking your leg for a round or two, you're in trouble, because I mean, the guy doesn't kick for fun, right? So he's got a real heavy kick. So yeah, I'm really interested to see that fight. 100%, 100%. Look at John Jones, 6'4", 205 right now, but he's going to be around 260. Crazy shit. Let's look at Francis Ngannou. 250. Yeah. He was at 250 during that fight. Yeah, I thought he was at. Okay, that's okay. Because he was at, I believe, 263 pound on his in UFC 260. So yeah, so there you got it. Um, Again, kudos, three African champion. Uh, so proud. Congratulations to all of them. So that's first of all my review for 260 and my prediction for Ngannou vs Jones.